Hello everyone, my name is Gajendra Deshpande. I'm working as assistant professor in KLS Gupta Institute of Technology, India. Today I will be delivering a talk on inventing curriculum with Julia and pointer generator network. So this is the agenda which we are going to discuss today. So we will see with examples what is curriculum and what it consists of. Then we'll discuss about a text summarization. Then we'll discuss two packages related to text summarization. One is TextAnalysis.jl and TextAnalysis.jl. Then next, we'll discuss about our experiment, what we have done with respect to the curriculum and how we have used Julia to design a better curriculum. Finally, I will conclude. Let's first define what is meant by curriculum. So these are the definitions which are given on the website of University of Delaware. So curriculum is a course of study that will enable the learner to acquire specific knowledge and skills. A curriculum is the combination of instructional practices, learning experiences, and students' performance assessment that are designed to bring out and evaluate the target learning outcomes of a particular course. A curriculum is what the school is attempting to teach, which might include social behaviors as well as content and thinking skills. A selection of information segregated into disciplines and courses typically designed to achieve a specific educational objective. So a curriculum is the program of instruction. It should be based on both standards and best practice research. It should be the framework that teachers use to plan instruction for their students. So a curriculum can be both written and unwritten. In our experiment, we are focusing on written curriculum. Now this is the example curriculum for computer science stream. So this standard curriculum is defined by AICTE, that is All India Council for Technical Education, which is the standard body which defines curriculum for engineering and diploma students in India. So if you look at the sample curriculum here, it consists of several components. So here not only technical subjects are included, but also non-technical subjects like humanities, social science, and also basic science courses are included. And there are some courses, for example, project work, seminar, and internship in industry or some other components have been included and they have been assigned a credit. Now this is the example syllabus for web programming subject. Now if you have a look at this subject, there are some common terms you will find. For example, you are finding the details about web servers, web design, then architectures of web, then there is something called as JavaScript, then document object model, then something is mentioned about HTML and CSS, Ajax, XML, and PHP. So this is a sample curriculum which is being defined for diploma courses in computer science. Now let's come to the job portals and we'll see what employers want. So if you look at the description here, for example, in responsibilities, the first line says that it is designing and developing user interface for web and mobile applications. So if we see our syllabus in the previous slide, nothing was mentioned about mobile applications. So similarly, let us go to the next slide. And here, if you see, there are some more things like Agile, DevOps, then GitHub user account, then React, Angular, then some other frameworks are mentioned. Then similarly, Bootstrap and Material UI are mentioned. Now, what this clearly says is there is a gap in the syllabus which students are studying and the skills employers are seeking. So in our project, what we are trying to do is we are trying to minimize this gap through uh, through NLP techniques. So how we have achieved is we have used text summarization techniques. So let's uh, define text summarization. So text summarization is nothing but shortening long pieces of text by applying computational methods. Say, for example, you have a large document which consists of hundreds of paragraphs. Then we are going to apply some computational methods. For example, we may have to tokenize these statements, tokenize the sentences, then assign the ranks to the sentences, then pick the top ranked sentences. So in this way, what we are doing is we are applying some computational methods on long pieces of text or a document, and we are generating a summary. Now, if we come to text summarization, then there are two basic approaches which are most widely used. One is the extraction, second one is the abstraction. Now, if you see on the right hand side, there are two diagrams shown. On the top, the diagram shows how extractive summarization technique works. So how it works is we have a text which consists of n sentences. So those n may be 100,000, any number. Then you are going to apply extractive summarization technique. Now, after applying extractive summarization technique, it's going to pick few sentences from these n sentences. Okay. Then below there is one more diagram which shows the working of abstract to summarization technique. So here what happens is, again, you have the same source document which has a n sentences. Now on these n sentences you are going to apply abstraction technique. Now here, instead of picking some sentences from the existing n sentences, it's going to generate new sentences. So it is not going to pick some sentences from first n sentences. Instead, it will generate new sentences. So both of these approaches have their own advantages and disadvantages. For example, extractive technique uh, has the advantage that it's fast and it can give you quick results, but it is not going to give you the more intuitive results. Whereas if you consider abstraction technique, it's going to give you more realistic results, but it is very hard to implement. Now there is a in between way where we can use the advantages of both extractive summarization technique and abstractive summarization technique. So we can combine both and we can design a new technique, and that new technique is nothing but pointer generator network. So what this pointer generator network does is it extracts the keywords from the text using extractive summarization technique. Then there is a database where you can pick the words, pick the right words or right combination of words to generate the new sentences, which can be clubbed with the pointers. So basically, a pointer is nothing but which extracts these keywords, and generator generates the new keywords from the dataset, and together these are combined to generate the new summary. So this is how pointer generator network works. So I have just given you very simple introduction to pointer generator network, but there are lots of good papers where you can read those papers and try to understand the technical details behind how it works. Now what we have done in our experiment is, so in the first step we have created the dataset of job postings. So to create the dataset of job postings, we have visited sites like Stack Overflow, then Indeed, then LinkedIn. So from those sites, job postings were copied and they were pasted into the dataset. Then in the second step is to remove the unwanted stop words, numbers, punctuation marks, and unrelated words. So you just can't perform text summarization on the text as it is, because it may not give you the correct results. So we need correct results. So the basic step is you need to remove all these stop words, numbers, punctuation marks, and unrelated words. Otherwise, it will result into inaccurate results. So it will be of no use. Then in the third step, you need to tokenize words and sentences. Then in fourth step, you need to compute the word frequency. So there are ready-made functions like n-grams. You can use those functions and compute the word frequency. So it will give you how many times a particular word is occurring in that particular document. Similarly, you can tokenize sentences and compute the sentence score based on the word frequency. Then in fifth step, select the sentences with high scores and concatenate them. So this is how your extractive summarization technique works. Then in the next step, what you can do is, or what we have done is, sort the words in the descending order of frequency. So that is the highest first. Then next, extract top n words or word combinations from the previous step and compare them with the syllabus of a particular subject. So in this case, we have compared it with the web technologies subject. Then in the last step, there are two possibilities. Either you can refine the syllabus of the existing subject. If upcoming technologies are missing, we can add those uh, technologies in the syllabus. If there is too much, which if it is not possible to include all those things in a same subject, then we can propose a new subject based on these keywords. So we will see how we have done in next few slides. Then there's a package called as TextAnalysis.jl file. It's a very simple package, but it is not a standard package. So we need to install it from GitHub. So to install it, first we need to import the package. Then you need to download that GitHub repository. So I have specified GitHub repository's URL here. Then once you download it, you need to clone it. Then you need to activate it. So tutorial is also there. It's a very nice tutorial. So it specifies all the steps how you can build your own text summarizer. Yeah. So this is an example how we can use text summarizer package and generate the summary. So to use the text summarizer, you need to first write using text summarizer statement, then use a string called as docx, where you can store some job postings. So you can see here the requirements are mentioned like responsibilities, qualifications, right? Then skills are mentioned. Then after that, this text summarizer package has a method called as text underscore summarizer. So you can pass docx string as a parameter. So once you execute this statement, it's going to generate summary. Now you can see here, it's the shorter version of the docx string. And start comparing the statements here. So if you compare the statements, first few statements in docx are different, first few statements in output are different. And if you observe the first few statements in the output, you can see here it has clearly extracted the skills. Okay, so you can see the keywords like HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, PHP, jQuery, WordPress, continuous integration, etc., etc. So that means what, if you compare this output with the syllabus, so syllabus clearly lacks some keywords like Bootstrap. Then then there is something called as jQuery, right? WordPress, and so on. So this output clearly gives us the indication that there is a mismatch between the syllabus framed and uh, job requirements by the employer. Okay, so we can now refine our syllabus to add these concepts, to add these technologies. So it helps us to reduce the gap between syllabus and the employer's requirements. Okay. Then next, there is a package called as TextAnalysis.jl file. So again, you can add these two packages, text analysis and word tokenizers. So using keywords, you can import these packages and start using their functionalities. So links are specified here in this slide, so you can visit these slides, and these are very nice tutorials. It will help you to generate or perform text analysis on your own text. So this is how we have built uh, our project. Now say for example, in first few lines we have imported the required packages. Then we have defined a file called as dataset.txt file where we have stored all the job postings. Then we have done some we have created some lists. So those lists are nothing but tokens list, then stop words list, prepositions list, pronouns list, punctuation list, and number list and words list. So we need to remove all these things from the dataset. Now if you observe, these things are common. For example, stop words, articles, prepositions, pronouns, punctuation marks, these are common. But there are many unrelated information. There are many unrelated things in our dataset which we need to remove. For example, numbers. So basically salary or experience is defined in terms of numbers. We don't need those things for processing. Similarly, there are some keywords like location is there, qualifications, right? Then package, right? We don't need this information. So we need to remove it. So to remove these things, we have written a small code here. So for example, let's consider to remove numbers. We have written a small code for num in number list. So filter. So we are using a filter function to remove the numbers from the token list. So similarly, we have removed unwanted words, we have removed unwanted numbers, we have removed punctuation marks, we have removed stop words, we have removed articles, we have removed prepositions, we have removed pronouns, etc. Then next is computation of n-grams. So basically n-gram, what it does is it just computes the number of it just gives you the word frequency in a document. Okay, how many times a particular word is occurring in a document. So if you observe here, there are three variables which we have defined: ngd1, ngd2, and ngd3. The first statement, what it does is it just gives the frequency of a single word. Then ngd2, what it does is it gives you the frequency of uh, frequency of two words in combination. Similarly, ngd3, it will give you the frequency of three words in combination. Okay, yeah. So what we have done is, if we see the syllabus, we don't need n grams. Actually, we can actually restrict the n value of grams, or n value of n grams up to certain value, say maybe 3, 4, or maximum 5. So that will do our job. Now once you compute the n grams, it will give you the uh, word frequency, but it is not in sorted manner. So actually what we want is, we want them in descending order. So to get the descending order dictionary, so you need to make use of these two functions, sort and collect. Then you need to set the option RAV is equal to true. So what it will do is, it will sort the dictionary in reverse order. And note here that we need to sort the dictionary by value, not by key. So this code does exactly that. Now when we run this program, you can see that there are two sections. The first section shows the word frequency of single words. Then the second section shows the output of bigrams, that is the word frequency of two words. Now if you see here, it is sorted in descending order. Now there are many keywords and you will find their corresponding counts. For example, HTML is 7, web is 5, WordPress is 4. Okay, so bootstrap is 3, and so on. So what we can do now is we can extract only top n values and their keys and compare it with the syllabus. And if some keywords are missing, then we can either refine the syllabus, or if more keywords are missing, then we can propose a new subject. In the second part, you can see here, it's the output of bigram. That means word frequency of two words in combination. Now, if you observe this output clearly, then you will find that uh, web and mobile are combined. Then HTML and CSS are combined. Okay, and in some cases HTML, PHP, and CSS are combined. So that clearly gives the information that what kind of skills are required by the industry in combination. So we just can't rely on uh, single results of single words. We also need to explore the result of multiple words. So the source code is hosted on below mentioned GitHub URL, and also this project this project will be hosted on this particular URL, and we are still working at exploring more uh, complex algorithms, say for example applying deep learning techniques for pointer generator network. So here, when we extract only top 10 keywords or top 10 bigrams, we are actually working with the pointers. Okay, and when we take these keywords and when we uh, take one more set of standard keywords from the domain, and when we combine and when we perform n-gram analysis, actually it generates the new keyword set. So that's how pointer generator network works. So to conclude, to achieve the better results using natural language processing, so one of the important factor is pre-processing of document. So if you don't pre-process it properly, you won't get the accurate results. So to get the proper results, you need to perform pre-processing. So do as much as possible pre-processing. Then next, using pointer generator network, we can balance the advantages or disadvantages of extractive or abstractive summation to get the better results. Then need to experiment with the non-professional courses. For example, there are courses like arts or commerce or finance. We need to uh, check those courses and see how it's going to perform. And we also need to explore the possibility of performing NLP or text summarization on languages other than English. Say, for example, languages such as Indic languages, for example, Kannada or Hindi or Marathi or some other languages. Thank you.